Hey guys, today we're going to do a Chapter 6 review, sections 1 through 3. So some vocabulary that we're going to review is from 6.1, ratio, from 6.2, rate and unit rate, and from 6.3, dimensional analysis. So writing ratios, what is a ratio? There are 9 girls and 14 boys in the 7th grade. A. Write the ratio of the girls to boys in the 7th grade. And B. How does this ratio change if you're asked to write the ratio of boys to girls? So let's take this one step at a time. So A. If we're writing the ratios of girls to boys, well, that can be written in a few different ways. First, you could write it as there are 9 girls, 9G, to 14 boys, 14B. You might see it that way. Or you might just see it as a division. And we'd have 9 girls divided by 14 boys. Alright? Now, let's go to B. How does that change if the question is worded differently, boys to girls? Well, basically you flip it. You'd have 14 boys, 14B, to 9 girls, or 14B over 9G. Ultimately, we're taking a look at two different things related together, alright? And that really brings us back to what is a ratio. Well, a ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division. Let me make that a little bit bigger for us. Okay, so let's do some practice. Tyson makes 12 baskets in 36 attempts. Write the ratio and simplify. Okay, so that's 2 steps, right? We got to write it out. Let's write it out. Write the ratio, which is 12 over 36. But that's only part of it, because now we got to simplify. So I'm noticing that 12 can go into itself once, and it also goes into 36. So I'm going to divide both of these by 12. So it simplifies to 1 over 3. So what does this mean? This means that for every 3 shots, Tyson will make 1 basket. So that was 6.1. Going into 6.2, we're expanding on ratios. We're going to talk about rate and unit rate. So when we're talking about rate, a rate is really a ratio where the quantities have different units. So I'm going to write that out. A ratio where the quantities have different units. And units are almost like variables or numbers. They can be canceled. And we'll come back to that in 6.3. Unit rate. A unit rate is really just simplifying the ratio, or rather the rates ratio, so that the denominator will equal 1. I'm going to write that out too. Simplify the rates ratio so that the denominator is equal to 1. So you can feel free to pause here and see if you can answer this question. Kristen types 180 words in 60 seconds. Write this as a rate and then as a unit rate. Okay, so I'm going to go over them. So if we're writing it as a rate, it's just putting the two quantities together. So we're writing it as a ratio first. 180 words over 60 seconds. Two different units, but still written as a ratio. Alright? Now, to get the unit rate, we want to get the denominator equal to 1. Just 1. Alright? So, we're going to divide both of the numerator and the denominator by 60. So, we'll do the same thing. So, we divide both by 60. Again, the point being that we want to get the denominator equal to 1. And when we do that, we'll end up getting 3 words every second. That's pretty fast. Gotta give props to Kristen. So that was 6.2. 6.3 is kind of putting this all together. And that deals with dimensional analysis, including units as factors. And again, this is saying that you can almost treat them as numbers or variables that can be canceled out. So let's look at a problem. Kim and Marty are training for the Broad Street run. Kim can run 13.2 feet in 1 second, while Marty can run 7 miles per hour. Go ahead and pause this and see if you can answer both A and B. Alright, let's go over A. Okay, so A is really asking us to do 3 things. Write the rate as a ratio, convert the units to what you want, and then turn it into a unit rate. Alright, so first part is to make it a ratio. When we do that, we make 13 feet, 13.2 feet, over 1 second. Now I ultimately want to end up with miles per hour, so I want to go over and put my miles per hour right here on the side. I'm highlighting them there for you. Alright, so I always put those over at the edge. Now, so to get rid of the feet and make it a mile, I can divide the feet or multiply the ratio. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, and then my units will cancel for feet. Cancel feet, cancel feet. Alright, now I just need to get my seconds into hours. I'm actually going to use a red to cancel so that we can really see what we're canceling here. Okay, so get my seconds to hours. To get rid of those seconds, I have to multiply by a second unit. And I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, so that way I can cancel my my second units. And there I go, I'm canceling them. And I'm left with minutes on the bottom instead of seconds. Finally, to get rid of those minutes, I have to do the same thing with the seconds. Because my minutes are on the bottom of my equation, I need to multiply instead of divide by 60 minutes over 1 hour. I'm not changing it, I'm just getting rid of the units, so I'm going to cancel them out. So then I'm left with, I'm going to put it in a highlighter again. Let's do it in pink so we can see it nice and clearly. I'm left with my miles up here and my hours down here. All other units have been canceled. So what is that going to turn out with? Well, I just multiply across because they're all fractions. So when you multiply it all out, I put it in the bottom here, 13.2 times 60 times 60 and also times that 1 are going to equal 47,520 miles, because that's what our last unit was, over 5,280 hours. Again, hours is the only unit left. That's going to simplify to 9 miles per hour. And then the second part of the question is really just asking us which one is going faster, which one's going to finish the line first if they keep their speeds the same. Alright, so you just compare them. That last part of the step, where I made it 9 over 1, I divided both by 5,280, thus creating my unit rate. I'm going to circle that. That's my unit rate. 9 miles per 1 hour. So for the final part, you say, alright, well, 9 miles per hour is faster than 7 miles per hour. And so it looks like Kim's going to win that race. Alright, guys, thanks for listening, and look for the next one.